All right, so you're selling your home, or at least you're thinking about it. Then there's some things we need to do right away. First of all, let's get it into good shape. Make sure that it shines. Make sure that it's actually attractive to your potential buyers. Here's one of the things to think about. In today's market, even though it is still a constrained market, so it's really tough for buyers to find a place, you would think that they would just accept whatever's out there. That's not the case. They actually want to be able to move in, bring their blanket and their pillow, and be done with it. So if there's any small items that we need to take care of, let's get those taken care of in advance. Because what we'll find is a buyer will come in, they'll see maybe some what you think are minor inconveniences, and we can potentially lose the sale if we don't take care of those ahead of time. All right, here we go. Key point number 1, clean and declutter. Super important. And I know you get used to these things being in your home. So you may not really remember that, hey, you've got those personal pictures on the bureau or hanging up on the wall. So we want to get those down so that people can see themselves and their lives actually there in the home. Now, when it comes to cleaning, the first thing that I would really like you to do is clean, of course. Now, once you finish up with that, I want you to go back and clean again. And then after that, the third thing I want you to do is go back and clean again. Because buyers absolutely love walking into a home that smells fresh. So yes, they do actually like some of those cleaning supply fragrances, if you will. What they will turn around and just walk out is when they smell the dog or the cat or the dirty laundry. Okay, key point number 2 is to make your home move-in ready. Really look at your home from the standpoint of a buyer. Pretend like you haven't lived there for however long you have lived there. This is your first actually view of your home. Get yourself in that mindset because that's the way buyers are going to look at your home. Now, there may be some things that you've just overlooked over the years. You know, those things you said, hey, I'll get around to it someday. Well, now's the day. In fact, you might actually want to do a pre-listing inspection first. So let's get a professional in there to take a look at the home from a fresh set of eyes. Take care of those small items. They really won't cost that much, but you know what it's going to do is save you down the road. Because when a buyer comes back after they've made an offer and we're looking at an amendment to actually have those items corrected, that's when they're going to beat you up on price. And we want to avoid that. We want to make sure that you're getting the best value out of the home that you possibly can. Key point number 3 is staging the home. Let's make sure it is showcase ready, if you will. Go through the home with a fresh set of eyes. Maybe even get a family member or a friend to come over, take a look at the home. Where does it look cluttered? Maybe where do we need to fill in? You don't necessarily have to hire a professional stager, but when you look at it from a fresh set of eyes or with a fresh set of eyes, then you can actually see, hey, this looks a little bit cluttered, or there's just too many things here, or maybe not enough things there. So a tip that you could actually use is to temporarily rent a storage unit, move some of that excess out, and you'll actually get more space. It'll appear as if your home is larger, which will appeal to buyers for sure. Key point number 4 is pricing it right. And I've got a really super secret tip that I will share with you in just a moment, so stay tuned. Number 1 may be something that you've heard in the past. Let's not price it too high. Okay, when you do that, not only are you scaring off potential buyers, you're actually communicating to the market that maybe we're not exactly serious about selling the home. So we've got to be careful in that way. This is my secret tip, by the way. Many sellers are very scared of leaving money on the table, if you've heard of that expression. In other words, not getting as much value out of the home as they should when they sell. But what we have seen is that if you price super competitively, in other words, maybe what's a little bit uncomfortably low, what actually happens is you create a huge amount of excitement. That means more eyeballs on your property, which then drives up the price. So what we've seen in the past is that actually when we price lower, we sell higher. So bear that in mind as key point number 4. Key point number 5, partnering with a great real estate agent and broker. Listen, there's a lot more to selling a home than just saying, hey, the home's for sale. Unfortunately, what you find out there in the marketplace is a lot of times the 3 P's of marketing, which is placing a sign in the yard, putting a lockbox on the door, and praying that it sells. You're going to get a lot more than that when you work with m.mahaffey and Associates Real Estate. I've been in the business for a lot of years. I know how to help you price, how to guide you, and probably the most important thing, how to negotiate. That's why you're hiring me as your real estate broker, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Preparing your home for sale does not have to be stressful. So if we get it prepped, we get it staged, we get it priced right, we're going to have the best opportunity to get the home sold. So if you're ready to get started and you've got any questions about preparation, pricing, strategy, would love to answer those for you. So reach out to me, give me a phone call, or shoot me a text. Be happy to talk to you.